that was just a quick little demonstration of kind of how that arm and stuff moves. But this is a 2014 Takeuchi 153. I think it's got 3426 on the hours. Just put tracks on it about, I think it's 85 hours ago. Had some pretty crappy tracks on it. Everything, the undercarriage seems to be in pretty good shape. These are starting to get some wear, but I don't really know. I bought it with 2,800 hours. I mean, they seem to be still tracking around and lasting okay. Sometimes when you got it in high speed, I think it's this side, kind of makes a little bit of a noise. It is starting to get a little bit of play in these. I guess there's pins and bushings in there. It kind of, I mean, this isn't, these are pretty good right here, but it's got just a little bit of movement up and down. I can kind of try to show you that. I put a manual quick coupler on. So you basically pull this pin out and then that thing swings forward. And then so we had to lengthen the thumb to make it touch the teeth. I got it's a tag bucket, tag thumb, 24-inch high capacity. And then I've also got a 16-inch high capacity for it. We also discovered a crack right here the other day, which I've looked at a lot of these, and it's either this side or up top. They're just a little hair crack, so I'm gonna kind of grind that down, clean it up, and paint it. What else? I put an LED light on there because that one burned out, and it was about the same price for an LED bulb. I've got the guard to go over the window. It's been a good machine. Like I said, I told Mike a little bit. It's kind of got something of a bit of a hydraulic issue once in a while. It just it pulls or it bogs down some kind of on the kind of the dipper stick control, it seems like. But I took it to our Victor Phillips and our Takeuchi dealer. They looked at it. I gave them $3,000, and they think it could possibly be a spring in the control valve, but they're not 100% sure. It does seem to run better when you kind of got the air compressor for the AC on. I guess their idea or their thought, they told me, was it kind of bumps up the engine RPMs and the hydraulics. But it's so weird because it kind of comes and goes. Some days it'll kind of bog down a little bit, and other days it's just when if you're trying to do too many if you're tracking and spinning or moving the thumb, it kind of pulls the engine down a little bit on there. But it's been that way for almost the year that I've had it. I think maybe the first month or so it didn't seem like it did that as much, but I changed all the hydraulic fluid and the filters and everything like that twice, kind of flushed the system out. And the fluid was fairly dirty. I don't think the guy that had it before, he bought them, and he buys them brand new, and every 3 years he gets a new one. So it gets about to the hours on these where you got to change the stuff, and he trades them in. So, but yeah, I'll kind of jump in here and go through some of the functions. What I like about it is when you curl it back, like the width of the tracks, everything stays. I mean, you're a couple inches over, but 0 turn, 0 tail swing. So if you can get the tracks in there, you can pretty much spin around. So I've had it in between houses where I had to dig on one side of me, and I curled the bucket up like I did, and I can spin around and dump on the outside. So that's definitely a feature that I like, and I'm going to miss on the newer machine, because they quit making these in this size that does that. Let's see. It doesn't use any oil. Maybe just a hair underneath the full line right about the time I change it every 250 hours. I use a 1540 Rotella. I'm trying to think what else. I've done the 1,000-hour service on it where I've changed all the fluids, all the hydraulic fluids, filters. I need to tighten up or get a new fan belt. That's kind of what that noise is on the compressor that kind of whistles or whines. So I've changed the gear oil in the planetaries. Yeah, here's kind of the inside of it. These are the controls down here to make the boom move. You just hold it down to go all the way to the left. And it doesn't go as far to the left as what it does to the right, but you're still able, it kind of turns it on the cab, so you're still able to sit and reach. And then this is all the way to the right. It kind of pulls it over to the side, makes it a little easier to see. I typically do a lot more digging this way. And then, I'm trying to do this one-handed. Now with the coupler and the high capacity bucket, it will hit that cylinder. It's the biggest thing you gotta watch. I mean, you can get it close, but if you tried to curl or dump the bucket right now, you'd definitely be into that cylinder, but it's always been that way. It's a little worse with that quick coupler because it moves the bucket down. But yeah, it's always, with that high capacity bucket, it's always been that way since I've had it. But and this is the switch, and it's kind of got your small, medium, and large buckets, because it tells you right here, the small, you know, less than 24, the large, which it really doesn't make any sense. The large is 24 to 31, and the M is 31 and over, which I've already got it turned. It resets every time. It's got a safety feature on it if you shut it off, or you can't pull it back, but I've already done it once, so it'll actually just pull it all the way back. But if you're not careful, or maybe remember to flip that, you can actually get into the cab with the bucket. But like I said, once you shut it off and get back in, here, I'll idle it down. Okay, now I've restarted it, and you'll slide this over, and then now that's the safety deal kicked in. You can't pull it back anymore. So then you got to remember, if you want to go back, you just flip the switch over to S, and then it will allow you to go back. And then, like I said, you got it's all tucked down there inside, and you can spin around, and you're pretty much within the width of the tracks. I mean, you may hang over 2 inches or something. The thing I like about it, and especially, he told me you are going to be digging graves and stuff like that with it, is you can almost dig a perfectly square hole without repositioning the machine, which is nice, because you can, you know, let's say you get it over here normal, I'm kind of digging inside. I got the blade hanging over here, so it's a little bouncy, but I mean, the thing about it is, it's nice. Instead, like if you're trying to dig a square hole where you have to kind of dig it and pull that way, if you got to move over some and dig it square with something, you can now grab over here. Yeah, we have a lot of rock here too. You got that side, and then, you know, you can come over here, and that'll kind of dig. It always pulls straight to the machine. That's what's nice about it. The worst part about when it's this way, the boom is kind of right in front of you, but you can kind of lean out and see around it. I'm doing a pretty terrible job of trying to dig this right now, but I'm just trying to. on like this, instead of you started digging, it would pull over that way. So you have just that little bit where you really need to square something off, and you don't even have to reposition the machine. So this is a feature that's kind of the whole reason I got this machine, because I do a lot of water and sewer lines in tight areas, and I was worried about getting a 12, this thing weighs like 12.2. So I was worried about getting a machine this size, but with this feature, it's almost, you can do things that you'd have to have like an 8,000 pound machine in, but you got the same footprint as that 8,000 pound machine, but it's a 12,000 pound machine. I actually dig a lot with that arm kind of over there to the side. So but yeah, you can see you can make a nice square corner, which I've actually dug 2 graves for horses. So that's kind of been the nice thing, is I can kind of get it right in the center, and you can move that. Which, I mean, you may know enough about these or watching them, but that's the only thing when I go to my new one I'm gonna miss, because it's just the stationary one that just pivots back and forth. I'm a little bit leery on kind of giving that up, but the problem was I also bought this one as kind of a backup machine to my skid steer that I've got, and now I would say at least 3 if not 4 days a week I'm in this machine, and I'm in the skid steer a lot less. So like I said, it's got 34.27 on the hours and stuff now. So for me, running it every day, I was just wanting to try to get rid of it and upgrade to a little bit newer machine, just because I do rack up so many hours on it so quick. Well, it's still worth something. But I mean, to me, it's still got a lot of life left in her. Like I said, the bogging down, we'll see if we can. I'll shut up so maybe you can hear me, but see, today is one of those days that's running better. I think it's the fine. You can kind of see it there, but it was also you may be able to kind of, that's kind of what it does. It just sometimes, like I said, it'll bog down a little bit, but that thing's, it's got some power and stuff to it. So like I told Mike, it may be something, I'm not very mechanically inclined, so it may be something you guys can just look at and fix. Like I said, I've ran it this way. I bought it last March, I think the last week of March of 2018, because the year before I rented one about 5 times that year throughout the year, and so that's why I kind of thought it was going to be my backup, so I wasn't worried about the hours or anything like that. Like I said, it's a little bit, which I just replaced that pin and bushing, but I don't know if it's just the sticks a little worn out. I don't really worry about the hours as much. I think it'll dig down close to 13 feet. It'll reach 18, I believe. And oh yeah, it's got another feature here too. It's, they call it crane mode. You flip it over here to crane, and then when you put the machine over here, I've actually picked up I want to say it was like a 4,500 or 4,200 pound manhole, as long as you can start it out and have that boom just a touch leaning back, you've got the leverage to pick up. You know, you can just kind of use your stick right there, and you'd be amazed what this thing will pick up this way. So that's another thing I do like about it, because you got everything over the center of the machine on all the weight, so it'll pick up a crazy amount of weight once you put it in that crane mode. So yeah, that's another feature I like that the new ones are not gonna have. So but I'm sure this video's gone on long enough. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Think of what else. It's dirty. I need to clean it up, but yeah, it's been, like I said, it's been a great machine. That's kind of everything that I know that's wrong with it. So I was like, I told Mike, I just, you know, I don't want to just trade it off to somebody and not have them kind of knowing that it's a great machine, but it does have its kind of quirks or stuff like that that needs to be addressed. But for what it sounds like, for what you're wanting to do, I mean, it'll be fine for that. Like I said, I've dug a ton of sewers, and some of the last ones I've dug were 16 feet deep, and so, and Mike can even show you there. I got them on a couple of YouTube videos. People thought I was nuts, but I had to dig myself down, and I was kind of right there at ground level, so I could reach down in that hole and pull it out. But it got it done. So yeah, it's been a great machine. It doesn't have an angle blade. They didn't come out with that until the newer TB260s. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's been a great machine. It's like I said, 12,200 or 300 pounds. I think it holds like 11 gallons of fuel. You can run the piss out of it all day long and probably only burn 7 or 8 gallons. I think that's what I normally put in it after I run it. It's dirty. That's about the only other thing. All the rollers and stuff feel good on the undercarriage. Like I said, the sprockets may be starting to get some wear, but my skid steer, I ran those sprockets till I had 5,500 hours on them. But yeah, you can see, like right here, the guy that had it before, when he switched buckets, he just kind of got into the barrel there, but it's not, no one's ever hit the actual cylinder. But yeah, and then, like, I don't know, I grease the crap out of it, so it's kind of messy. But yeah, it just seems like there's just a little bit of play where it kind of picks up inside here. But yeah, that's about all I can think of. So I'll try to maybe shorten this down a little bit for you, or kind of give you an idea. But I appreciate you wanting to look at it. Thank you.